Stop panic healing. Here's where it mattered the most and where you should actually do resource healing. In this video I'm going to share with you where I'm going to do resource healing and why I think it's important, and also extra tips and tricks in general. So the first place that I think is with crucial importance is actually the gates opening. Not zone 2, for example, this is going to be a gate for zone 2, but not zone 2 is going to be zone 2 gate opening the first couple hours. Now obviously it can be different type of play. Sometimes people the alliances can use staff play to teleport on the enemy side and kill the builders and take control over this map, because it's going to be huge teleport in majority of the cases, and you're going to catch out of guard the enemy. Slowly they're going to push you out, but in this case you have to be prepared that everything you send there is going to go home. This is one of the things. The other thing is, even if you're slow progress, because the staff play is going to be the first maybe 30 minutes up to 1 hour, something like this, till both of the alliances break the gate and start building something. After this, the teleport stuff is having 3 hours. If it's on level 5, it's going to be 3 hours. So in situation like this, you're going to just slowly progressing in the map. The moment the quash happen, and the majority of the cases is going to be at the choke points. So let's say the enemy gets this choke point and they're building till here, and you start progressing here. The majority of the cases, the fight is going to be here around these choke points. Most of the times it's choke points. This is strategically placed to actually put some troops there. So this is going to be the moment where I think is going to be the most important one to spend some resources. So in situation like this, yeah, here, for example, taking out this choke point is going to open so much field to progress in the enemy direction and actually destroy enemy towers in the process. So I think, yeah, this is one of the places. And maybe it's going to be the only places for WoW spenders and free-to-play players. Why I actually say WoW spenders or free-to-play players? There is a reason behind. And because the second place that I think is going to be important is going to be mostly for whales and krakens, very important. This is going to be the ruins. Now the ruins is going to give you stamina recovery speed 3%. So if you take this one, it's going to be 3%, and you have the big one that is going to give you extra 5%. I think it was 5, yeah. So in total it's like 8% stamina recovery, and Krakens and whales struggle for stamina, and for this type of players it's more like stamina management over the legions. And the moment they finish their stamina, basically they cannot do absolutely nothing. It's not related to resources, it's not related to how much millions troops you're having. Everything is up to stamina. So I think this one is going to be extremely important for whales and krakens. But yeah, we're not Kraken Alliance, let's say it like this, but definitely we're going to put effort here. So what I'm saying about the resource healing on these places, obviously for this one you're not going to need that much resource healing. In this runic ancestor statue you can actually enter with a single legion. So one legion you fight like, I don't know, 1 minute, 1 hour, 2 hours. I think it was something like 2 hours, I don't remember quite well, but yeah, one legion, 10-15 minutes fighting, and you go out and you enter with the second. Again, this amount of time is just, I mean, you're not going to need that much resource healing here, if any. But here you can actually enter with 3 legions. The fight is like 6 hours or 9 hours. I don't remember how many hours was this thing, and the fights here, maybe 10 hour or 8 hour. I don't know, just let me know in the comments, guys, because I really forgot if somebody actually know. But this one is way longer. And currently in this season we're having proving grounds. This is one cool quest where you can get like 15 hero tokens. You can get these researches. I think this researches is very valuable when there is an event with the training troops and you start 10,000 on each of your camps or barracks, and when the event hits you're going to just finish those troops, and with less effort you're going to get pretty decent amount of points. So yeah, this is going to be maybe the place where you want to spend if you're in the Kraken Alliance or if you're in very big whale alliance. It's just the 5% the 5% stamina recovery is crucial important because cavalry and infantry lose their stamina extremely fast, and they're very important on the battlefield. With mages, you may never lose your stamina. I mean, it happened for 2 years and close to half. 2 years in half playing Cow Dragons, I end up only 2 or 3 times finishing my mages stamina. So mages is not an issue, but for my Goresh, yeah, I lose my stamina a lot there. So this is going to be very valuable for whales and Krakens. So if you have whales and Krakens in your alliance, definitely this should be a priority there. And even if you have to spend some resources, it's way better to have this 5% extra stamina recovery. I think it was for like 7 days before this one opened. I mean, you finish this one, super ascension statue, and after 7 days you can go again. So you know, it's for like 7 days. So whoever get it is going to have 5% stamina recovery for 7 days. I think this one is every 2 days or 1 day and a half, I don't remember quite well, which is going to be extra 3%. So in total it's going to be 8%. Very, very valuable, especially if you're on the field and you're struggling from stamina here. The enemy have pretty decent siege on one of the choke points. The way you can actually go is just beat them by stamina. And yeah, so if I have to sum up all the places where you're going to need resource healing is when the gate open, when the quash happen. I mean, the big quash is definitely going to decide who is going to win the zone, because if you quash in the center, the moment you push out the enemy, this is going to break their morale. Here is also psychology stuffs. I mean, Cow Dragons is a very interesting game. I mean, definitely. So you're going to break the morale and all these things. So it's going to be way more easy for you to take the whole zone. People are going to stop logging and etc. Things is going to go only downhill for your enemies if you have this advantage and if you spend some resources to actually secure this advantage. And even if you fight against more strong alliance, I think you can definitely outperform them by activity and spending some resources. Yeah, I know people don't like when I say, yo, spending some resources and etc. But I think this in the future, this is going to be the way the game is going to go. I mean, the game presents so many things in Cow Dragons that you can basically gather more and more resources. For example, let me see one resource spot. Yeah, this one. I mean, you're having auto gathering. This is one of the things. Way more events where you can get some extra resources and etc. Just the things are a little more different from what was back in the days. And the resources then was scarcity. Right now it's not like this. The majority of the people are having decent hospitals. What I mean by that is they have so many troops, which is boosting the free healing. So right now the fighting between the lances, especially in the top KVKs, is expand and is basically more fights just because the people are having more troops and etc. So yeah, this will be for this video, guys. Just sharing with you where I'm going to spend my resources most likely. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and consider hitting one like on the video. Is going to help my video a lot, and I really appreciate that. Also subscribe if you're new here and you're interested in Cow Dragons content. I make daily content. Some videos is going to be good, some is going to be awesome. But yeah, I do my best to provide high quality for my viewers. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. I wish you a great day and see you in the next video.